Hello guys, welcome to Explore and this is Visalakshi. So let us get into our history topic guys. As you all know in our previous video we have discussed about the First World War, right? And now let's get into the Second World War. After First World War, all the countries had participated in a peace conference Treaty of Versailles and decided to do something to stop these wars and control these wars. They made an organization called League of Nations as to control and to stop the wars. As you all know, we have discussed it in our previous video, right? But the League of Nations was not successful. So actually, the defeated powers like Germany, Austria, and Turkey were not invited to the conference. And the Treaty of Versailles had imposed some territorial penalties and military cuts on Germany. So Germans thought it was not fair at all and they had no respect or responsibility for it. So this created a little aggressive nationalism in Germans, which may be one of the reason behind the Second World War. But that's not the main reason. Now let's go for main reason behind the Second World War. On September 1st, 1939, when German tanks entered Poland, Hitler, the dictator of Germany, invaded Poland as punishment for refusing to hand over the port of Danzig to Germany. Let me explain the story clearly. As we all know, any exports or imports from other countries will come to us through the seaway, that is ships. So German tanks comes to the country by entering the Poland to the port of Danzig. So the dictator of Germany, Adolf Hitler, thought it's better to occupy the port of Danzig as its exports and imports becomes easier. But the country Poland refused to hand over the port of Danzig to Germany. So Germany declared a war on Poland. Actually, Hitler thought that the takeover of Poland would be a small military operation. But Poland has a defense pact with Britain. Actually, the war is between Germany and Poland. But Germany has support from Italy, Japan, and some other countries, whereas Poland had support from France, Britain, US, and etc. As many of these countries had colonies in different countries, they forced those countries to participate in this war. So, this became the Second World War. And this Germany team is known as Axis powers, whereas the Poland team is known as Allied powers. So, this war is the Second World War. US attacked Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan with atom bombs. After effects of these bombings like leukemia and cancer lasted for decades, and even now the people who born there are suffering from different health problems. The Second World War ended on August 1945. World War II was even more terrible than the First World War. Around 20 to 25 million military men and approximately 40 to 52 million civilians died in World War II. And now let's go for common causes which led to World War. This is an expected question for SSC too. Aggressive nationalism. What is mean by aggressive nationalism? The term nationalism gives a positive answer, right? Love towards their country. But aggressive nationalism means that loving and respecting their country aggressively and creating hatred towards other countries. This aggressive national this aggressive nationalism is one of the reason behind the two world wars. Let's go for another cause. Imperialism. Imperialism is nothing but in this 20th century, every country is trying to occupy more and more colonies, and this race for colonies between the countries is known as imperialism. Now let's go for secret alliances. Actually, in the First World War, the war is between the Serbia and Austria. But due to the secret alliances with the Serbia and Austria with different countries, it turned into a world war. In the same repeated in the Second World War also. The war is between only the Germany and Poland. But due to the secret alliances between the countries, it became a world war. So these secret alliances played a major role in turning the small war into a world war. Indirectly to say secret alliances is the main reason behind the world wars, right? So now let's go for militarism. Many of the countries felt that military might be the best way to ensure security and that war is a good. This ideology encouraged the wars. So militarism is also one of the cause behind the world wars. Now let's go for consequences of war, which is equally important as causes of war. Democratic principles asserted. The world had understood the dangers of undemocratic government after the two world wars. So this led to an increasing need for democracy. So people started revolutions and they fought for socialism and communism. So several democratic principles asserted after these two world wars, which is a positive aspect. Change of balance in powers. When World War came to an end, the map of the world changed yet again as ex colonies became independent nations. That is, before the World Wars, most of the countries are occupied by the other countries. So they are considered as the common colonies. But after the wars, the map was redrawn once again. So they are considered as the specific countries. New international organizations formed, like UNO. As you all know, after the First World War, the League of Nations formed to stop and control the wars, but it was unsuccessful. But after the Second World War, the international organization called UNO formed, United National Organizations. Almost all the countries have participated in this UNO. They are the members of UNO. So till now any world war didn't took place. That's the successful. So UNO became successful in controlling the wars. And next comes enfranchisement of women. Before world wars, women are confined to the household work itself. But when the war came, every man in the house had participated in these wars. So every work, uh, so every work to earn money had done by the woman in those days. Awareness as well as courage and confidence. So to say these wars resulted in empowerment of women. So it's better to note down all these points because the presentation of the answer is very important. If you include all these points, you can get good marks. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And try to watch these videos too.